you are in Luann Pikett's kitchen. You know, I just got to wondering, what Wi-Fi am I on? Okay, I'm on the regular. I'm messing it up. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. We are going to start off today. This is baking day today. Baking for Christmas. And so I am trying to fix my phone. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I am going to start off with sugar cookies. And the reason I'm starting off with sugar cookies is this batter has to sit in the refrigerator for a couple hours. And so I'm going to start off and put that in the refrigerator. Then we're going to go on to something else. So we are going to start with a cup of butter. This sugar cookie recipe has been something my mother has made since I was a little girl. This was a Betty Crocker cookbook that she got when she got married. And she always made the sugar cookies. So that's 2 sticks of butter. And this is real butter. Don't use margarine. Doesn't work well in baking. Too watery and too much oil. Just doesn't, it was not going to work well. Use real butter. It's better for you anyway. It really is. And that's unsalted butter. If you have only salted, it'll still work. You'll never know the difference. And so there you go. And this recipe, though, Mom has made this since I was a little girl. So we're going to soften the butter. So sugar cookies are a lot of butter. But she has made these since I was little, so I still really love these. So we're going to add 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Powdered sugar. So let me get the powdered sugar. 1.5 cups. Let me get my 1.5 cup measurer here. Here we go. 1.5 cups right there. And I'm probably going to make a mess. Trying not to make a mess, but that doesn't work too well for me sometimes. Probably going to make a mess. Okay, that's not even quite full. Okay, so we got the beginnings. Got the beginnings, and we're going to open up another package here because that one's empty. Let me get this open. Cut it open with the scissors. Hold on. So how are you today? Do you like watching baking? That's what we're doing. I'm putting it up here over the bowl, kind of. I'm trying to get it where it's, I think that's pretty good right there. Okay, here's our bowl. 1.5 cups of powdered sugar mixed with 1 cup of butter. Let's mix that in. Start slow unless you want a powdered sugar makeover. Alright, there's our butter and powdered sugar creamed. Now let me get a spatula because I see little chunks of butter here that are not getting mixed well because they're stuck on the spatula. So I am scraping them off the spatula. Now let's mix again. Come on, get off of there. Get off. Here we go. So we're having Christmas with the immediate family tomorrow for Christmas Eve, and I'm doing the baking today. It's just a small family gathering, and then the rest of the family, the big family, we're doing a Zoom call. Hi, how are you doing? We're doing a Zoom call with the rest of the family tomorrow. Happy 2020. But at least we get to talk to them at all. But most of my aunts and uncles are in their 70s and 80s, so we are not exposing them to anybody extra, even though we all live right here in town. But my parents and my siblings and niece and nephews and stuff, we will all be together. All right. Now, so after we're doing that, we're going to add an egg and the flavorings. Okay, so that only takes 1 egg. So let me get the little cup here. This little kit. I'm also going to get a paper towel because this is always messy. It's always gooey. 1 egg. These eggs, I've had the butter and the eggs sitting out to get room temperature. So eggs, you really want room temperature too. If you don't have it room temperature, you can use it from the refrigerator, but it'll tell you, baking tells you now, it's better to have the eggs room temperature too, because then they don't seize your butter up again. They don't make the butter cold. So let them sit out half an hour to an hour or something. And here we go, egg. then our flavorings are, we have a teaspoon of vanilla. Let me get my teaspoon here. Teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Into there. And then the other flavoring is a half a teaspoon of almond extract. If you don't like almond extract, you can leave that out. I will tell you, half the time my mom was always like out of almond extract, even though she liked it, but she was always like, oh, I'm out of that. But if she had it, she always put it in. It really adds a good flavor, but be careful with almond extract. If you put too much almond extract in there, you're going to end up tasting like soap. Almond extract is really strong. So don't overdo almond extract. So you want half a teaspoon, or like I said, you can leave it out if you want, but don't do more than half a teaspoon. You will be like, oh, I'm actually almost out of almond extract, I see. There it is right there. My little bottle's almost empty. Now let's mix those. It really adds a good flavor to these sugar cookies. You can smell that. That smells so good, that almond. Okay. Now we are going to add, let's see what it says next. Sift the dry ingredients and stir in. Okay, so I don't really sift. Sorry, no sifting. No sifting. I don't do sifting. So what I do instead is I lighten it with a whisk, because that's really what you need to do, is lighten the flour. I don't hardly have very much in here, so I'm going to put a new container in. A new bag of flour, because it's almost empty. So let me dump this in. This is all-purpose flour. I'm only going to put like half in for a minute. So here's what you do, because flour, when it sits, it packs down. And then what happens is if you measure it from where it's packed down, it's too heavy. You're actually getting too much volume of flour. So you want your flour lightened, as in lightweight. So if you take a whisk and you gently stir to get it unpacked, that's the same as sifting. The only thing is, if you really are concerned about lumps in gravy or something, you might want to sift, but you're not going to have lumps in the cookies. So you don't need to sift. So you're going to do 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So let me get a knife to level it. That's not a knife, that's a spoon. Let me try again. How did my spoons get over into the knife drawer? What are they doing over there anyway? They're going over visiting the knives. I don't know how I got them in there. Okay, so you're going to put it in here and level it off. You really want to make sure you don't get too much flour. You just don't need more than what it says. All right, there's your 2 cups right there. And then I'm going to dump this into the mix. And then you need another 1/2 cup. More 1/2 cup, and it's still just kind of keep it, stirred and lightened up, so you don't have packed flour. You just don't want to pack this. I have heard that if you do flour by weight, which is what they do in Britain, if you do it by weight, it's actually more accurate. But I don't do it by weight. So, oh well, we're still doing as accurate as we can. All right, so then you're going to add a teaspoon. Now let me get my teaspoon. My teaspoon is wet from the vanilla, even though I rinsed it, it's wet from water now. So let me dry that really well. You notice how you always have to do the wet ingredients with your teaspoon first? And then your teaspoon is wet for your dry ingredients. That's really annoying, but there we are. Okay, so I'm going to put the rest of the flour in this container, so hold tight here a second while I'm dumping the flour into my container. All right, my flour container is back full again. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which is right here. 1 teaspoon. That's the orange box, baking soda. Teaspoon of, you know what, this also calls for a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And you know what, I forgot to hunt for that. Let me go over here and see if I can find my cream of tartar. Do I have cream of tartar? Oh, I should. Yeah, here it is right here. I forgot that has that in it. Okay, 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Don't ask me what that is. It's a white cream. Looks like baking powder or something. Cream of tartar. Teaspoon of that. I forget what this does. But anyway, it's in there. See, there you go. Cream of tartar. Tatar. Cream of tartar. And that's it. There you go. That's all. So I'm going to mix that up real slow to start. There you go, sugar cookie dough. Okay, now, the thing about sugar cookie dough is it has to chill. Especially if you're going to cut it or anything. You've got to chill it, and it says to chill it for 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to put it in there to chill. We're going to come back and fix these later. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some plastic wrap, and you're going to pull out a long piece of plastic wrap. Now you can do this in 2 batches if you want. But here, let me show you a little trick I learned about how to really do this well. Okay, here's my piece of plastic wrap. So you're going to take your cookie dough, and you're going to put it in your plastic wrap, or you could put it in a container, but I always put it in plastic wrap, and put it in the refrigerator. Okay, can you see? You cannot see what I'm doing. Now you can. Okay, checking the camera. So let's pull it off. This always makes a real nice soft dough, but you can't really cut it like this if you're going to do cookie shapes or anything. It's too soft. It's way too soft. So it's just mush, and it's going to stick to everything. So you cannot really do anything with it. If you're going to make shapes, if you just want to make drop cookies, you could. But if you want to cut out Christmas shapes or even circles, you can't cut this out unless you chill it, because it is way too soft and mushy. It will not do anything. So you've got to chill it, and then when it's chilled, it's firmer, and then you can do something with it, like cut out cookie shapes. So what I'm going to do is put up this beater, and then I'm going to take this scraper, and we're going to scrape this out. I need to move this. Hold on. I'm going to scrape it out onto one end of the plastic wrap, because then I'm going to fold the other end on top of it. So I'm going to put it down here, and all I'm going to do is put it in a pile for now. Scrape it out. Like I said, you can do this in 2 separate ones if you want, and then just roll half, or you can still just roll half, but you can put them together or separate. So make two packages or 1, whatever you want to do. They do tell you to start with just half of it to roll it out, so it doesn't get too soft, because it'll warm back up pretty quick. So you want to keep it chilled. Okay, now here's the trick: is if you're going to put it in the refrigerator, a lot of times people will take it and form it into a ball and put it in the refrigerator like that. Okay, you can do that, but it's not the best option. The best option is to flatten it out. So first of all, if it's not real thick, it will chill faster. Second of all, when you do go to roll it out, it'll be a lot easier because it's already half rolled out. It's already flat. So take it and flatten it into a disc, and then put it in the refrigerator like this. So it will be easier to roll, and it will chill faster. And I've got my plastic wrap is folding right here. I'm trying to unfold that because it's not doing it right here. Come on, let go. It's caught up in the dough. There we go. Now I got it. So there you go. Flatten it into a disc. So when I go to roll it out, I'm already half rolled out. And there's not a big thick thing for it to have to chill through. So there you go. So I'm just going to go set this in the refrigerator. The time is about 4:30. It'll be done about 6:30. I may not do these until a little bit later. All right, let me see if I find a place to... Ow, put it? Something is stabbing me. Hold on. Okay, so it's not really laying in there real flat, so it's probably going to be a little crazy looking when I bring it out later, but that's okay. So now I am going to make the sour cream pound cake. I've made that before, but I'm going to do it again because I'm going to make sour cream pound cake for tomorrow. So basically tomorrow is actually our Christmas. Usually all we did on Christmas Day was go eat with my dad's side of the family, which we're not doing this year. So really this Christmas Day, I don't think we're not doing anything, I guess. Christmas Day, I guess I'm just sitting here by myself. But that's okay. Christmas Eve has always really been our Christmas. Christmas Day is a day to recuperate. So I am just rinsing off my beater here so I can go to the next thing. So let me just rinse this real quick here. Okay, there we go. Let me dry this off. Dry off my beater a little bit. There we go. Dry the inside of my bowl. Okay, so we are now on to recipe number 2. And we are going to do, get back here, the cake. So I may not actually do, I may not do not the Oreo, I may not do the oatmeal cookies till later either. Even though I put them in this live, I'll probably go change that because we're going to do the cake. This cake takes an hour and a half to bake, which is good for the cookie dough to rest. So it's kind of like, you know, perfect. Cookie dough's resting. This cake will be baking. So here we go. Oh, that just didn't work at all. There we go. Now he's in there. Okay, sour cream pound cake. This is my grandmother's recipe that she had for a long time. I remember this growing up. And let me go get it, actually. I still have the sugar cookie one out. Let me find where I have. Here's sour cream pound cake. Okay, here we go. So you are going to get 2 sticks of butter. You're going to cream your butter and sugar. Okay, so 2 sticks of butter, another cup of butter. Again, don't use margarine. Not going to work well. It won't rise right. But margarine it has too much water in it and too much oil in it, and it is not going to work well for baking. It just doesn't. So use real butter. This is unsalted butter. If you use salted, it's not going to hurt a thing. Okay, there we go. We're going to cream our butter. That's softened butter. Somewhat softened. Just like starting the sugar cookies, huh? Okay, so then next we are going to add 3 cups of sugar. Now this is granulated sugar, not like the cookies that had powdered. Granulated sugar, 3 cups. I'm probably going to need to get out a new bag of sugar too. Hold on, I got it all. I bought more sugar, I bought more flour, I am all set here. When I know I'm baking for Christmas, I get all the refills. Try not to run out of anything. Okay, 3 cups of sugar. So I have a 1.5 cup measuring thing here. Here, let's do that so you can kind of see both. So if I measure this 1.5 cup thing twice, that'll be 3 cups. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. So here we go. There's a 1.5 cups. Ah! About tip it the wrong way. And another 1.5 cups. Shake off the extra. Tip it in. Seriously making a mess. And then I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of the sugar in my container. Now, this is one thing I've learned. When you go to the store to buy sugar, make sure your sugar says pure cane sugar. Do you know if it doesn't say pure cane sugar, it's probably beet sugar, which isn't bad to eat, but they say does not bake very well. So get the sugar. That usually is going to be your generic brand sugar, is probably not cane sugar. And it just means your baked goods will not turn out as well. So you can get the sugar for other stuff, just don't do it for baking. Hello, hello, hello. So don't do it. Make sure you get the one that says cane sugar, which is usually going to be your name brands. Get the cane sugar for baking. I heard that on a cooking show one time. So get cane sugar. Okay, so we're going to cream the butter and the sugar. Here we go. Okay, now that's got a lot of sugar in proportion to the butter. So it's going to look like sand. It is going to look like that. Then it says add wet ingredients. So I'm going to add, this has 6 eggs. It's got a lot of eggs. So here we go. We're going to beat after each addition. There's 1. 2. You don't really even have to stop it. 3. Again, these are room temperature eggs. 4. 5. One more. Look how yellow that's getting. 6. It's a really rich cake. Okay, now it says to add all the wet ingredients, but I'm going to do this just a little bit different because then when you add the dry on top, it's a little hard. So I'm going to do it. I'm doing it my way. Okay, that's not exactly how that tune goes, but doing it my way. This is kind of a more modern way to do cakes, and I've been doing it this way, and it works. So I'm going to add, so like the way they do cakes now is when you're going to add the dry ingredients, you're going to do dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. So you're going to do 3 things of dry and 2 things of wet. Start and end with dry. And then it kind of blends better. There's a reason to do it too. And I don't remember what it is, but it has something to do with developing the gluten in the flour. I'm not sure. But this is what we're going to do. So let me get... Okay, so one of the wet things, the other wet thing I have is sour cream. Oh, yeah. This is what makes this cake rich. So stir your sour cream so you don't have like just water sitting in there. And you're going to have a cup of sour cream. Now, you can buy the cup, you know, the cup of sour cream already in the container, but these were on sale. The big ones were on sale. So that's what I got. So I'm measuring the cup. Plus, I have sour cream for a thing I'm making tomorrow as well. Just making sure I have the good date on this. I do. Just make sure I didn't grab an old one or something. Okay, 1 cup. Get that in here. All right, that looks like 1 cup right there. Okay, so let me put the sour cream back up. That will be for tomorrow. That's actually going to go in our cauliflower casserole tomorrow. The rest. Or some of it, not all of it, but some of it is. Okay, so we're going to start with the dry. Okay, so we're going to have 3 cups of flour. I just used my 1 cup measure. Let me find if I have another one. Here's another 1 cup measure. Here we go. So we're going to have 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to go here. Let's move this out of the way. Here's my flour. So I want to, since I dumped some more in there, I'm going to stir it again. So it's light, meaning lightweight, not light color. Lightweight. So you're going to add 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to do it in 3 cup increments. So I'm going to start with 1 cup. That will give me the 3 different, you know, the dry dumps. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put 1 cup of flour in there. And I think I just got, how did I get sour cream on? How did I do that? Look at that. How did I do that? I don't know. I must have dumped it into the sour cream, but how did I do that? Oh well. Okay, so then you're also going to, now this is the most unusual way to put this ingredient. It says a quarter cup, or not a cup, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, which is this one, rounded. This is the only time I've ever seen it say rounded. So what I do is, it just means it's going to be more than a quarter teaspoon actually. So see how I go above, see that? Kind of above the, don't scrape it down flat. It's rounded. Yeah, it's actually more, it's probably more like 1/3 of a teaspoon. So it's more. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of that in there for now. That's all the baking soda. So we have 1 cup of flour and baking soda. So here we go, mix. Okay, so then we're going to put in about half of our sour cream. Doesn't have to be exact, just put about half of it in. Then mix that. You don't want to overbeat once you add the flour, because if you overbeat flour, it makes things tough. So don't overbeat, just till it's blended. So here we're going to do another cup of flour. I'm still getting it wet. I'm still getting it in the, I don't know where I'm getting this sour cream on it. It's like appearing from nowhere. So strange. So here we go. Then we're going to mix. Hello! That's 2 cups of flour. You do want to mix it well, but not overbeat. Then you're going to add in the rest of the sour cream. Getting it off the spoon here, getting it off the spoon. There we go. Mix that in. Now this gets to be a lot of batter. It is a lot. It's also a really thick batter. It's rich. Okay, then one more cup of flour. Let's see if I can get this sour cream, whatever, off the bottom and not do that again. Okay, here we go. Back into the flour, make sure it hasn't packed down. 1 more cup. Here we are, 1 more cup of flour. See, I'm taking my knife, leveling it off. And we're coming over here and dumping it in there. Final cup of flour, and then that's it. That's the whole recipe. But you see how deep this is getting. Ooh, you got to be slow with that final batch because it wants to fling it out. Okay, there we go. Put the flour away. So that is all of that. So now what I'm going to do is we just have to put it in the pan. And you want a tube pan like this. If you can get one that's flat, rather than the bundt pan, this works better. If you only have a bundt pan, you can use it. But the best part of it is going to be this side. In a bundt pan, you're going to flip over when you take it out, and you're going to want to have to flip it back over again, because the best part is the top. That won't be the bottom of the cake. It'll be the top. So take some shortening, or you can use some butter. And this is how I do this to not make a mess all over my hands. Take a paper towel and take some of the shortening. Now, I don't usually, and you're going to wipe it on the pan, I don't usually spray this with nonstick spray. Not this cake. This cake, I do the shortening and the flour because I really want to make sure this works. You also want to put it on the top of this ring, not in it like that. You want to put it on the top of the ring because this cake batter will rise to the top of the pan. So you also want it here on the edge, because sometimes it overlaps the edge, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how much volume of batter you got. And if it does, you don't want it sticking on that, or you won't get it out of the pan. So go all the way up there, and then, make it a little more, you're going to do the whole inside of this pan, and it's just so much nicer, except I just got it on my finger, it's so much nicer to use a napkin, because then you just don't have goo all over your hands. And if you use the butter, you can also use the butter papers, you know, the paper the butter's wrapped in. But just make sure you get enough of this on here, because you want this to come out. And I think I got it pretty good here. And also make sure you do the inside of this little funnel part, the tube part. Okay, there we go. Then, let me get rid of this napkin. Now I've got my oven on 325. Then let's take some flour. And so here's how I do the flour. I want to make sure it gets on this center part. So I usually go around the whole thing and make sure it like just sprinkles down that whole center part. Because otherwise that's hard to get it on that by shaking it. So then I dump it in there, and then you're just going to shake it around. And you don't want a heavy coat, you just need a light coat. Now I like to do, I'm just getting it on to that top edge too. I like to do the shortening rather than the butter, because butter can brown a little bit, and I don't want it to, you know, like burn the sides of my cake. So really I like the shortening better. Here we go. Now I'm going to go tap this out over the, you could do like over the garbage or over the sink or something to get rid of the extra. So just take it over there and like smack the sides of the bottom of it. And there you have a big mess on the counter, but a nice pan. Okay, so let me get some of this out of the way. Then we're going to take our batter take our bowl here, and we're going to scrape all this into the pan, put it in the oven. Now this is at 320. No, it's not. It's not even right. It's at 300. You want this oven, so I got to turn it down. Hold on, I did it totally wrong. 300 degrees. So you're baking it kind of slow on a lower oven, because it's going to take it 90 minutes, yes, an hour and a half, to bake this cake. And your house is going to smell so good. Now, if you make this, I suggest you resist the urge to put any vanilla flavoring in this. Even though I like vanilla, I love vanilla, I love it in everything, but it will kind of counteract the flavor of the butter in this. And you want to taste the butter. To me, this is the one thing I like better without vanilla in it. This cake. And it doesn't have it in the recipe, so try it without it. It just totally changes the flavor if you put vanilla in it. Because I had it, somebody made it one time with vanilla, and I'm like, well, this doesn't taste like mine. I wonder what you put in it. And the only thing she put in it different was vanilla. And then I'm like, well, that's why it's different. Okay. But I like this better. Maybe it's just because I was used to it. I don't know, but I like this better. Okay, here we go. We are now going to scrape this in. I was trying to see if anybody, just making sure there's no comments that I'm not ignoring them. Okay, there's the pan. Where did my spatula go? Oh, I think I put it at the sink. I did. Okay. Let me dry it off a little. And here we go. Now this will not pour. See? This is not going to pour. It is really, 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 really thick. So you're going to have to scrape. And you want to kind of, and it won't settle in the pan either. It's going to, it's a big thick batter and it's going to just lay in a lump. So when you put it in, you want to kind of go around and drop it in around the perimeter. It is this thick. Yes, it is. From what I understand, they used to call pound cake because it took a pound of eggs, a pound of butter, it took a pound of everything, pound of flour, I don't know. Had everything in it was a pound of sugar. And then you gained pounds if you ate it. Yeah, it's really good. This is really good with tea or coffee or any kind of thing like that. It makes a great cake. Now you can serve this like with, if you want to make it like a strawberry shortcake or something, you can do that. But I'm telling you, you're going to want to eat this by itself because it tastes that good. And the topping is going to be like a cookie. It'll be crispy. Do not let the people in your house, if you live with people, I don't, but if you live with anybody, don't let them just eat the top off this cake and leave the bottom. That's the best part, and they are robbing you. If they're just taking the top off the cake and eating it, they're robbing you. Tell them they have to eat the rest. The rest of it's good, but the top of it is so good. Okay, I kind of made a mess in the middle here. That's the way, okay, I'm going to fix it. So you want to take your scraper and even it out. Now, when this bakes, a lot of times, the top will crack. Sometimes it does. It's not going to hurt it at all. Sometimes it'll crack. Sometimes it won't. And it will rise. My grandmother put on here, rises so high. What that means is this is going to kind of rise up out of the pan. So if you look at this in the oven and it's rising out of the pan, and you're like, oh no, don't panic. It will rise up a little bit, sometimes out of the pan. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to put it in there, set it for 90 minutes. Okay, there you go. Nice and flat. And it's heavy, too. You're going to pick it up going, oh, that's a heavy cake. Yep, it's heavy. All right, there we are. Let me get this set for an hour and a half. There we go. All right, now we're going to make the next thing. Now the next thing I'm going to make, now I'm not going to do the oatmeal cookies yet. I think I'm going to do these other ones. The other thing I'm going to make are Oreo balls. I don't know if you've ever had these. I made them for the first time last Christmas. A friend of mine made them on live one day. They're really good. And they require no baking, nothing. All you do is mix and dip it in chocolate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over here, since that's where my phone is. So I have my little trusty handy food processor. So you're going to take a package of Oreos. Now the recipe actually says to use like a family size, but I'm using the party size. It's a little bigger. I used this last year and it worked perfectly fine. Let me find my chocolate too. I think I put it up. Get it back out. Here we go. So what I'm using for chocolate is I like the Ghirardelli chocolate, but you can just like melt some chocolate, like some chocolate chips. And I'm probably going to melt that in the microwave. And I think these actually have to chill for a little while too. Now that I recall. I do think they have to chill too. Where are those anyway? Here they are. Let me see what it says. You're going to put your Oreos in the food processor. Pulse until they are fine crumbs. Then you're going to beat in the cream cheese until it's smooth. It says to use a mixer, but I wonder if I can still do it in the food processor. I'm trying to remember what I did last year. You beat the cream cheese until it's smooth, about 1 minute. Okay, you're going to freeze them for 15 minutes. Okay, so you're going to take your Oreos and you're going to put them in your food processor. And these are more than the recipe says. It says to do, what does it say? 38 Oreo cookies. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 22, 23, 24, 25, 67, 28. I'm counting how many there are. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 35 to 67, 38. Okay, that's how many the recipe says right there. So let's see. I'm going to do the whole package, though. That's actually about, 2/3 of the package. I like it with more Oreos. Noisy. Okay, there we go. Oreo crumbs. I want to know if I can put these in with it, or do I need to take those out? I probably am going to have to mix it in this mixer, so let me wash that real fast. Let me wash my pan again, my bowl, my mixing bowl. So these are so good and they're so easy to make. What time do we have here? Is it like, it's like 5 o'clock. Okay. I just want to make sure because I got to do, still have to do my makeup live today. Okay, I think I'm going to do the oatmeal cookies when I make the sugar cookies. Because I already actually did the oatmeal cookies on a live. Okay, just cleaning my bowl. Almost done here. Alright, there we go. Let me get my beater done again. Dry that off. And my bowl. Dry that one off. I'm going to go ahead and do it like it says. We're going to do it in the mixing bowl, because I'm afraid that's going to make a big mess if I don't do it right. Okay, here we go. Here's my bowl. And it says we're going to... I have things in the way. Hold on. We're going to soften the cream. Well, we're going to beat the cream cheese. It's softened already. So you want softened cream cheese. You're going to put a block of cream cheese in here. And the good thing is, see, you don't need any sugar or anything because it's already in the cookies. And I've lost my cream cheese. Oh, here it is. Okay, cream cheese. And then you're going to make them. Let's see, what does it say? How big? About, okay. It just says roll it into a small ball. So you just get to pick how big you want it. Okay. Come on. Come on. Here's the cream cheese. Okay, here we go. Now let's beat that till fluffy. Fluffy. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure here now. I'm actually looking at this recipe. Beat the cream cheese about 1 minute. Add the Oreo. That wasn't a minute, but oh well. And just add this. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the ones I've done, and let's see what we have. Ooh, we're making a mess here. Let me take my, there. Taking out the blade part. All right, let's mix that, see what we have. Okay, see, those to me are super, super gooey. I don't mind adding the rest of the cookies. So it's like one more sleeve of cookies, because this is what I did last year. I put all the cookies in this big package. So that's 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 54, 55, 56, and that's like 58 cookies for 57. And that's only because I ate a couple of these. That's about 60 cookies normally. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? I am making Oreo balls. So first I've got to chop up the rest of these Oreos in my food processor. This is probably petrifying the cats. Okay, there we go. Yep, there we are. Okay, so that's all the cookies in this party-sized package. All the Oreos. Well, all of them, but like 4 of them that I ate a couple days ago. Almost all of them. Put that in there. So this won't be quite as gooey as the normal recipe because I'm adding extra cookies. But I'm not adding extra cream cheese. But I'm good with that. Whoa! It just threw that out of the pan. Get back in there. Hilarious. Okay, it's a little rough on it here. It's a little rough on it, but we got it. All right, there we go. So now you're going to take and you're going to make a whole bunch of little balls with this, and you're going to freeze them for 15 minutes. I just really want to throw that everywhere. Let's taste it. See. Oh, yeah. That's good. Okay, now, let me get my food processor out of the way. The thing is, I don't have a lot of room in my freezer. I'm going to have to take stuff out of my freezer to put these in. That's all right. We'll make it work. Yeah, these are perfect. I think you can use the party size package. The family size or the party size. Look how dark. Oh, you can't see. Nice dark chocolate that is. Oh, yeah. These are so good. So after you freeze them, you're going to dip them in melted chocolate. And they're like truffles. They're kind of like truffles. Okay, so let me take out, well, I just need to rearrange here. Let me rearrange in the freezer a minute. So I have room to put the little balls I make. I don't have a very big refrigerator. It's like this microscopic refrigerator. And I don't get to pick because I'm in an apartment and they supply the refrigerator. And they've given me like the smallest refrigerator they can buy. That's fine. It's like, seriously, you can't give me a real size refrigerator? But no, they don't. They don't. All right, let's see what I can fit in here. Hold on. I don't think I can fit this pan in there. Nope, still cannot fit that pan in there. Let's try a different pan. Let's try this pan. Will that fit in the freezer? Oh, we have a winner. Okay, here we go. It's not very big, but this will fit in the freezer. So we'll do that many. Now, let's see. I'm going to get a little scooper here. I think I'm going to get this one right here. This is not the smallest one. It's the next one. Oh, I got flour all over my phone. Oh, well. This is like a 2 tablespoon size. So all I'm going to do, and I don't think you have to butter this or anything because I'm not cooking it. You're going to make a scoop and, you know, there you go. If you don't want them that big, you can make them smaller, but I think that's not bad right there. So I'm going to put those in the freezer for 15 minutes. So you just roll it into balls. Really easy to do. You're going to coat it in chocolate. They're going to be neat little treats. I say if you want them smaller, just do them smaller. Or not. Let's see how many it's going to make. Let's see how many survive until tomorrow. I'm going to have to taste test them. Actually, I'm probably not going to eat very many of these because I want the family to have them. So you just keep making little balls. So you do want it to be firmer than this to dip it in the chocolate because they're really soft because the cream cheese is soft. So you definitely want it to be Oreo chocolate is like the darkest, almost black chocolate. So pretty. So I also got, now you can dip these in white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. You can dip in whatever you want. I got the Ghirardelli 60% bittersweet chocolate because it's a darker chocolate. And of course, that's what I like the most. But you can also get white chocolate and make like little ziggy-zags on it, you know, so you can kind of do both. But I didn't do that. I'm not going to be fancy. I'm just going to be chocolate. Just chocolate. Oh, so this is the before you put it in the freezer. Right, yes. This is before I put it in the freezer. This is softened, you know, just after I've mixed it, softened. So this is before, uh-oh, keeps sliding on me. This is before the freezer. So I'm going to do this batch and put this one in the freezer, and then I'm going to do another batch to have to get ready for the freezer, and then I'm going to melt the chocolate, and hopefully by then the first batch will be ready to dip. So we have the sour cream pound cake in the oven. We have the sugar cookie dough is in the refrigerator chilling. That has to chill 2 to 3 hours. It might chill even longer because I do have a Zoom call tonight at 8. I think it's 8. It's 8 or 9. Maybe it's 9. Well, anyway, at some point I'm going to do it. I think it's 9. Is it 8 or 9? I got to look that up. Okay, so let me put this in the freezer. Set it for 15 minutes. Oh, they're rolling. Hold on. They're trying to escape. Got to keep it level. Okay, there we go. 15 minutes. Okay, there we go. So let me get another pan. And let's do a little bit more. Here we go. That one's a little smaller of a pan, but it's what I have. It'll fit in the empty space I have in the freezer at the moment. So we'll get this one ready for the freezer. And then we're going to melt the chocolate. See, do we add anything in with the chocolate? I don't think so. These aren't melting chocolate wafers. I know you can put like a little bit of butter or a little bit of like corn syrup in it. I'm trying to remember. I couldn't find the recipe, the exact recipe I used last year. But I'm trying to remember if I just melted the chocolate or if I added something to it, and I don't exactly remember. I think I can just melt it as is. I got to figure out how many this is making. See, these are about the size of, this is like a 2 tablespoon size ball. So my family said when I made these last year, they're like, okay, that's the best thing you've ever made. Those were the best. And you don't even have to cook them. So I'm like, yeah, alrighty. It's kind of like a candy. Well, they're kind of like cake pops. If you like cake pops, only they're made with Oreos instead of cake. So you don't have to make a cake. We're getting down to the end here. I might be able to put this in the freezer with it, actually. If I can kind of put it on, drop that one. If I can put it on top, kind of. I should be able to do that. Let's try that. Then maybe I'll have them in there together. I think I have room above, just nowhere else. I've got like 2 or 3 more here. Ah, this one wants to fall apart. Come on now, stick together. Okay, there we got him. If you press it into this little scooper pretty tight, it works better. Well, it did. This one didn't. And getting down to the bottom, I think it's drier down there. Okay, let's see what we have. Do we have like maybe 1 or 2 more? Okay, there's 1. I think I have 2 more. I'm trying to press it in there. All right, now come on, stay together. Okay, 1 more. A little bit left here. Okay, how many do I have here? It was like 18. Let's see how many I have in the other pan. Curious how many this makes if you add the big package of cookies. Okay, there's 18 in there. Let's see how many were in the other one. Ooh, no, I don't have room above either. All right, we'll put it in second. Move those out of the way, and then let me wash my hands. Move this. Now, so we can melt our chocolate. So I think I'm going to use, let's see what I'm going to use here. I'm going to try to use, it says, how much does it say? Now let me read this for a minute. Okay, so it's, you need like 2 cups. 2 cups of the chocolate. Okay, so how much is in here? This is 10 ounces. I think 16 ounces would be 2 cups. So this isn't quite enough, but we're going to start with this. And then I have another bag. We'll use another bag. Oh yeah. Those are so good. We can eat them too. See how much time I got? 9, 10 minutes. All right. I really don't want to do it too early. Let me wash my bowl. Ooh, it's hot in there. Got the water hot. Woo! So I'm washing my beater. Very exciting. Woo! Washing the beater. Washing the bowl. So I'm doing all the baking today, and then I'll do the cooking part tomorrow. So that way I don't have to do it all in one day. So tomorrow I'm going to make cream carrots and cauliflower casserole. And I am going to make chicken pot pie. Because that is what I want. My family, they like to have barbecue, and they're ordering barbecue. And that's fine, they can do that, but I like homemade food. So I am making, they can eat all the barbecue, and I'm going to have homemade food. They can have my food too, though. So, there we go, all clean. They decided several years ago they didn't really want to cook anymore, so they said, oh, on Christmas Eve, let's just order barbecue. And, you know, my whole life, I've always had homemade food. So I'm like, no, but I was outvoted. So that's okay. They take the lazy way and they order food, and I cook what I want. And I share it, like I said, I share it with them too. If they want it. And they usually do. They usually want the homemade food. There's a couple more stuck in here. Why are you stuck in there? And it's like melted. How'd you get melted? And how'd that happen? That's weird. I'm just sitting here on the counter. But it's melted. I don't get it. Oh well. Did I have it sitting on something hot? I don't think so. So weird. see what we got here. We got 7 minutes. All right, that's not bad. So we're going to go ahead here and start our... I'm done with the sour cream pound cake. Let me put this recipe away so I don't lose where it goes. Then we're going to flip for later. We're going to do the oatmeal cookies later. Here, let me put this away. All right, so let's see if we can't kind of start melting our chocolates. All I'm going to do is microwave this, because that's what I've always done. So we're going to start with like a minute and see what we get. Come on here. I just washed out my microwave. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty and clean. Not like my counter here. That is now totally messy. Totally messy. Alright, let me clean this off. Then I'm gonna put my plate over here. My pretty plate that I'm gonna put these things on. So I don't want to put it on a messy counter. So I'm gonna make chicken pot pie tomorrow. Oh, I'm not looking to see if there's comments. Hold on, I need to look again. Okay, there's not. Okay, good. So I'm gonna make this. I've made this chicken pot pie before. It's really good. Chicken pot pie does not use cream of something soup. It makes it all homemade. So I'm gonna make that tomorrow. But I usually put it in a pie crust. Matter of fact, I've always put it in a pie crust. But I thought this year, you know what? I want puff pastry. If you ever had chicken pot pie with puff pastry, oh, it's good. And it's light. I've never made it, but I've had it like in a restaurant or something. So I'm going to use a puff pastry to make that. Okay, here, let me show you my platter here. Here is my platter. Ain't it pretty? Look. Christmas. Get to use this once a year. It's Christmas. That's okay, I don't mind. Alright, I'm just kind of trying to clean as I go. Otherwise, I suddenly end up with 4,000 pounds of dishes. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do them dishes. Okay, there we go. Everything else getting clean. Let me get my spoon. And let's see what we have for the chocolate. Whoops. We got 4 minutes until, oh, we're doing pretty good. 4 minutes until it's been 15. So it's been, what, 11 minutes? Okay, so this is getting pretty good here. I do think I'm going to have to melt the other chocolate too, though, but I do not believe this is going to be enough. But you really don't want to do it all at once, because it gets to where it's got to be like the right temperature to work, and it gets to where it's not that temperature anymore real quick. So let's do another 30 seconds. And I'm going to get out a couple of forks, because they say that's kind of how you do it. Dip it in with a couple forks and pull it out. So we're going to try. This is going to make a big mess. Such a big, oh, look at that. Doesn't that look like the best bite of a spoon you've ever seen? But I'm not going to bite it because I got to stir more. But look at that. A sort of semi-melted chocolate chip and chocolate. Oh, that'd be so good. But just say no. Just say no. Okay, let's see what we have, because we're not done. 3 minutes until the freezer is done. Let's see how, oh yeah. Oh, give me a straw. Look at this. Oh, I could just eat this. And I would be so sick though, because it's so sweet. All right, that was about 1.5 minutes to melt this brand. And that was a minute and then stir, and then another ½ minute. So that was fast. Really fast. Okay, so then we're just going to dip those in and take them out and put them on my platter. I think you can probably, if you would rather put them on a rack or something, I think you can, but I don't think I want to. If you drain enough of the chocolate off, it should work. And I still am not going to lick this spoon, because I think I'm going to have to melt the rest of the chocolate. So I'm saving it. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm not going to waste this spoon. not going to waste it. So I'm going to set the spoon over here. And I'm also going to get my other chocolate. Where are you? Here you are. Here you are. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I'm dropping everything. So I have another bag of chocolate. We will set him aside. Let's see how much time we have. 1.5 minutes. Okay, good. Just enough time for a drink of water. Put away my powdered sugar. My empty bags of flour and sugar. Oh, I've kind of rearranged in here. I don't know if I have room for oh, here's where the powdered sugar went. I'm like, where'd it go? I moved stuff around and now it doesn't fit. There we go. We'll move it back in. Perfect. Alright, that way I don't have too much stuff out. Oh, how much time we got? Oh, just less than 1 minute. Alright, that's good. Look at that. Oh, that's what you want though. Completely melted. And then we're just going to drop them in and pick them back out. Also throw away my Oreo, empty Oreo thing. Now these will stay with just melting chocolate like this. They will stay a little messy. So when you pick them up to eat them, yeah, they'll be a little messy. You could always use a toothpick or just be messy. I know we got to be about to beat. Come on. 14 seconds. And then I'm going to put the other one in. You can use those melting chocolate wafers. As a matter of fact, that's what this recipe says. Use the melting chocolate wafers. This is so much better. Ooh, that Ghirardelli chocolate, so much better. Okay, so let's put the other batch in the freezer too. And reset my timer for another 15 minutes. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here they are. Just the same as when I put them in. That's 20 of them. So that's about, what, 36? It's about 36, or 36 to 40 of them is what it makes. Okay, so here we go. You take them and you drop them in. And you take your fork, and maybe a couple of forks if you need it, to balance. Drip and drip. That's it. Set it down. There you go. Look at that. Then you can put this in the refrigerator to chill faster if you want, or it will set up also. So you just want the extra to drip off so you don't make a big you don't want to waste the chocolate sitting on the plate. You want the chocolate on the Oreo. So let it drip. And if it does start to get too firm, you can heat this back up. This is the least messy way, I think, if you use the fork, because you can balance it. And, well, so far it's been the least messy way. A little messy, not too bad. But like I say, if you want to get some white chocolate or milk chocolate or whatever you want, or you can get some white chocolate and, you know, drizzle a little design on it. This also says you can sprinkle crushed peppermint on it. Oh, that would be good. But I like them just like this. I'm also stringing this chocolate across the counter a little bit, but oh well. Oh well. Just a little bit. Ah! He jumped back in. Come on, quit that. There. You just got to balance it right with the tines of the other fork. You can eat this just like this. They're so good. Say I am kind of making a little bit of a mess, but it's not too bad. Making little chocolate puddles. I don't think anybody's going to complain. Chocolate puddles. And really, you just drop him in. So I am going to do the Oreo, I want to say Oreo. These are Oreos. I'm going to do the oatmeal ones later. Because I'm getting tired and my back is hurting. So I'm ready to take a break. I'm going to take a break and go do my makeup. Because I haven't done that today. Don't these look good? Oh my goodness. So a friend of mine actually made these on a live. That's where I got this recipe. I think she did them last year. And I'm like, okay, we're making those for Christmas. Yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. But you see how I'm getting down to the bottom? I'm getting down to the bottom here. I got about, so I've done about half. I've done about half in this tray. I may have to use a second plate because I may be running out of room here. That one I kind of made a mess with, that former one. Oh well. Oh well. I mean, a plate full of chocolate, you know, does that really count as messy? Or does that count as appetizing? You know, you got this kind of chocolate smeared all over the plate. Don't they kind of do that on purpose in fancy restaurants? Just smear the chocolate all over the plate. Oh yeah, that's decorative. So mine is freehand decorative. Abstract, freehand decorative, accidental decorative. So all the little bits of chocolate that are everywhere. Yeah, it's just abstract. But yeah, that's not messy. It's appetizing. Makes you want to lick that plate. So this will take, if you leave them out and they aren't refrigerated, it will take them a little while to set up. And usually, unless you like know how to temper chocolate exactly, which I don't really do. And if you temper it right and all that, they'll firm back up. But normally I don't ever get that to work. So what I'm saying is the outside will stay a little messy. So when you pick it up, your hands are going to be chocolate. They just are. But, you know, if you know how to temper chocolate right, which is getting it to an exact temperature, and it's just a certain exact way, candy manufacturers know how to do it. People that make candy. And then, you know, when you pick it up, it's the chocolate on the outside is firm, and it doesn't get all over you unless your hands are real hot. Yeah, it's not going to be that perfect, but it'll be fine. It might be a little softer, a little messier on the outside, but that's good. I'm telling you, this is holding up real well for staying the right consistency. Because it's been, you know, I haven't had to reheat it. And for putting these cold little balls in here, it's not seizing up. That could also be that this is real good chocolate. Ghirardelli is more expensive chocolate. It's good chocolate, so maybe you want to do that. Okay, so I got one more after this one. And then I have the ones in the freezer. So if you try to do this without putting them in the freezer, I think they'll fall apart when you dip them in here. They won't stay in the shape. They'll fall apart. And I do not think I'm going to get 18 more on this one plate. Right? So we'll just use a second plate. We'll have two. One for me. One for the family. Not really. Oh, that's just too fattening, but that's awfully tempting. Okay, there we go. But I can put a few more on there, and then we'll just use them. I have another Christmas plate, too. So let's see how much more time we have. We have 8 minutes. So I'm probably going to go ahead and go because that's going to be the same thing. So we're going to let them sit. Look at that. Oh, so good. So I'm going to let them sit and firm up. Like I said, I think you can put them in the refrigerator if you want. I usually don't. I'm going to let them sit out. You could probably store them in the refrigerator. I have a little piece here where I see the raw filling. So just, if you see a place, because this is where the fork was. So if you see a place where there's something missing, just dribble the chocolate on it. And it'll be fine. And then we will eat one. Oh, yes, yummy. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will come back later. Well, I'm going to do my makeup, come back later and do some more cooking later. And I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, pre-Christmas day. Happy December 23rd. Talk to y'all later. Bye.